Who are you?
Whoever you want me to be.
Don't say I never gave you anything.
It's feeling epic.
3 words. 8 letters.
I remember everything.
Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Previously on Teen TV. I'm Jillian Benani.
I'm Claire Wojciechowski.
And we have another very special episode for you today. I'm excited about this one. Summer might be ending, and we sadly did not get a new season of The Summer I Turned Pretty this year, which was quite depressing, honestly.
I know. The writer's strike, the actor's strike robbed us of so much, but most importantly, it robbed us of season 3 of this wonderful show.
Which, I know. It just didn't feel like fully summer this year without it, you know?
It's not summer without The Summer I Turned Pretty.
It really isn't. I missed it. But we couldn't go a whole summer without talking about The Summer I Turned Pretty, one of my favorite topics. So even though we did not get a new season, we had plenty to talk about because the cast was busy filming all summer. I want to say since around like March or so.
I think pretty early on in the year, yeah.
So we want to talk all about what we saw during filming and then give some predictions into what we think will happen for season 3. Because we got a whole year to think about it.
I know. We got quite some time to ruminate, to speculate, but we're going to discuss all that here today.
Well, let's talk about what we do know. So season 3 will return in summer 2025. We don't know exactly when yet. But I feel like it could come like early summer, hopefully.
Well, I think it should because this season is going to be the longest season we've had yet. So season 1 was 7 episodes. Season 2 was 8. This season was supposed to be 10 and they upped it to 11.
Which I am very excited about.
I think it bodes well.
I mean, 11 episodes is a good amount.
So much. We're going to get so many details, so many smaller moments, and hopefully, an expansion of all the characters. We're going to wrap up all the storylines if we think this is the last season, which
I think they confirmed it is the last season, didn't they?
I think so. I think it's leading that way, but
yeah.
And I'm honestly, if it wraps up, that's fine. I'd rather a short and sweet story than like dragging it out and having it go in a million terrible directions.
Yeah, I feel like this story is one that you can't really extend too much.
No, yeah.
But we also do know that the entire main cast is returning. So all your favorite characters, Belly, Conrad, Jeremiah, Steven, Taylor, will all be in season 3, which is exciting.
Mm-hmm. And also, Jenny Han will make her directorial debut this season. She is directing an episode, which is very exciting. I'm interested to see how she does in the director's chair.
I know. I'm excited about that, too. And, good for her. I mean, she deserves this.
I know. She has written these books. She's been on set writing these stories. We know that she's there in the trenches with the cast. So, for her to get the chance to, step behind the camera is really exciting.
I know. To me, she's, already a main character. She's so entrenched in it.
Yes.
And does promo for it, and it's such a big part of it, which I love because she is the person who created this world. So I love that she's such a big part of it.
Yeah, exciting.
So let's talk about what we've seen so far of filming. So there has been a lot of leaks of filming on Instagram, TikTok, Reddit. I mean, I am scrolling all the time trying to see what is coming out. And I feel like we got a lot of good stuff, actually.
Yes, we should say this will be from here on out maybe a potentially spoiler-filled. We obviously don't know what's going to happen in season 3, but we will be talking a lot about the 3rd book and things that happen in the book that we think might happen in season 3. So if you want to avoid all of that, just, put it on pause, read the book, and then come back to us.
I definitely would recommend reading the book. Because you hadn't read the book before.
I hadn't read the book, no. And you told me to do it. I listened to it on audiobook on a trip recently, and I was very into it. It made my drive, my flight go so much faster. And I'm glad that I read it.
It's kind of addicting, right? You're
yeah.
What is going to happen? It's just so good.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting is that I knew how it ended, but I'm how does it get there?
I know.
And so it's I would definitely recommend reading it before season 3. You have a whole year.
And I would highly recommend the audiobook because they have Lola and Chris reading the book. So it just feels like it's like part of the show more so.
Yes, and that is what I did. And it did. It was really helpful because I could picture them so clearly because it was their
know.
voices.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about what we've seen linked on the linked. All right, so let's talk about what we've seen leaked on the internet so far of filming of season 3, which is wrapped, by the way. They are done filming the season. So yeah, I feel like we got a lot of good tidbits. I mean, first of all, we got to talk about Conrad. I mean, that was a reveal for me. I mean, he comes out. He looks older. Mm-hmm. The hair is like has some blonde streaks in it, it seems.
Well, he's living in California.
And boy, did they really lean into that. I love the lighter hair. He's always like seen in these like videos and photos that are leaked in like slacks and like what seems to be like a nice shirt.
Like a button down in khakis, like business attire type of stuff.
Like he is a grown up.
I like that for him. I mean, we've
know.
always kind of got that impression of his character that he's taking on the weight of the family and Susanna's illness and all this stuff. And so now he's really leaning into that he's the oldest of the kids. He has to take care of everyone. He's being responsible.
Nothing says oldest child like some slacks. Oh my God.
Nothing says responsible like highlights.
Yeah. They're sun streaks. I'm sure Conrad would never.
Yeah, they're subtle, Jesse.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's just surfing so
Natural.
much.
It's all natural.
Just some subtle
Of course.
highlights.
What happens when you move to California?
That California sun, which, by the way, I want to be clear, it's Northern California that he's in. And he's at Stanford. It's Northern California. But that sun's just hitting him just right there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was one of my favorite things that we saw. That really grabbed my attention.
Yeah.
Because we also hadn't seen him, I feel like, for a bit. Like he was the one that it like came out like I feel like we saw like Lola and like Gavin in some photos, and then everyone was like, "Where is Chris Briney?"
Right.
And then we got the reveal, and it was good.
Yeah. We love it. We've also seen Lola in a yellow sundress, Chris Briney in a polo shirt and more slacks. You know,
I cannot. I love that we're just commenting on their clothes so far. We're like, we got some really big leaks, and we're like,
listen, this is all we have to go on at the moment.
know.
So we're really trying to piece things together, and again, comparing it to like where their characters are in the book and like why they would be dressed that way, or you know.
I know. So, well, also I feel like though, just seeing like knowing that they're filming a scene together is important.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, we are getting like a bit of Belly Conrad because we saw a couple of times of them filming scenes.
Yes.
Like, and it appeared to just be them together. So that already is like not saying that we didn't think there'd be scenes, but these are also all outdoor scenes.
Yes.
Where like other people can see it. So this is only like a little fraction of what's going to be in the show. So to know that like we saw them several times in scenes together, just, you know,
In different outfits
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for that Belly Conrad in season 3. I think we're gonna get a lot of it. I feel like too we saw them in a scene together. It appeared that Belly was driving Conrad's car.
Wow.
Good stuff. After season 2, when he was always driving her around.
Right. And if we get a scene in the book where she's like, I'll drive, I'm a good driver now, and there's like that evolution. So like maybe that's what that scene is, where she's
Exactly.
like, you haven't been around in 2 years. And
I can drive now, buddy.
Yeah.
I love it. We also saw some photos that looked to be a frat party. There were like Greek letters in the yard. There was like a kiddie pool that appeared to be filled with drinks. This is also taken right out of the book. There's a frat party earlier on when Belly and Jeremiah are at college. And this is like a big part of the book.
Yes.
So when I saw these photos, I was like, okay, it appears we're following the book pretty closely then. Like, we're getting them at college. We're seeing this frat party. And we all, if you read the book.
It's the book.
You know what happens at this frat party.
That's how the third book opens, with Belly's on her way to the frat party at the beginning of the third book, and it is pivotal.
And we find out that Jeremiah slept with somebody else on spring break when they were on a little bit of a break.
Yes. And Belly, I mean, the way she finds out is so crushing. She's in the bathroom. She can hear people outside the door talking and laughing about how this girl hooked up with Jeremiah and the girlfriend doesn't know. And she opens the door and is like confronting the girls. Like, can you imagine?
No, it's terrible. Like, even when I was reading the book, I was like, oh my God, this is like horrible. Like, this is rough.
But also, like, I can't wait for potentially that scene.
It's going to be so good. Like, I really cannot wait. That's why I was excited when I saw these photos. But I was like, okay, so we are doing, Lacey's happening. Like, we're doing it.
Yeah.
It feels that way. I mean, I know you could just have a frat party or whatever.
But why would you if you're not going to go there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, and then to go with that storyline, we also saw a scene where it looked like Taylor was yelling at Jeremiah, which we assume that she's yelling at Jeremiah for cheating. We're going to call it cheating. I think it was cheating.
I mean, in her mind it is. They're technically on a break, but you know, it's like it's less than a week after you've broken up.
And you're just sleeping with somebody else.
And
like,
also the fact that like when you got back together, you didn't tell her about it.
Exactly.
That's the part that hurts.
Yeah.
It's very Ross Rachel.
It is. And it's like we still don't know how to define this even all these years later.
I think it's like it's technically not, but it's also shitty and you can also dump somebody for that.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. For me, I would be like, okay, like fine, we were technically broken up, but then we got back together and you didn't mention it and you let me introduce myself to her when she knew what this happened and I didn't.
Yeah.
That's the part that's hard to swallow.
Well, and it's like you just feel foolish because you're like trying to be friends with this girl, or I mean, not exactly like she was trying to be friends, but like friendly. And then you feel like an idiot because like you didn't know.
Yes.
So it's just kind of sad.
Yeah. That's the part that
This is going to be the downfall of Jeremiah, I think.
If there was ever any doubt as to who Jenny Han thinks Belly should end up with, the third book erases that. Because I'm just going to say, Jeremiah is such a tool the entire third book. He's awful.
He's also barely in it.
Yeah, because he's like working. He's interning with his dad in Boston, and Belly's at the beach house
with Conrad.
But everything like that, like she wants from him, like she's asking for like the bare minimum, and he's just like a dumb fucking college boy.
I know.
And it's like, move on, girl. Like you're better than that.
I know. It's rough, but I am like really excited for it to play out. Like I cannot wait. That's why I was like, you gotta read it.
Oh, I'm glad that I did.
I know.
Because now I have so many thoughts, so many opinions.
It also seemed like the show took over and rearranged a local flower shop for filming, which to me, this is a pivotal scene that's in the third book. It's where Conrad helps Belly pick out flowers for the wedding.
Because we should say Jeremiah panics and proposes to Belly after she finds out that he cheated. He's trying to fix it, and his solution is to propose to her.
Never a good idea.
Preposterous. And she says yes, because I think it's easier to just accept it than to like deal with the breakup is my theory. But anyway, the whole third book is planning a wedding.
And there's a scene in the book where Conrad goes with Belly to help her pick out flowers for this sad beach wedding that they're going to have at the beach house.
The $1,000 wedding.
This poor wedding. Yeah. And by poor, I mean literally poor.
Literally like no money.
But it's such a good scene that we get between the two of them. And we didn't see them filming this, but it just seems like that is what this scene will be. So I'm excited we're going to get that.
Yeah, I can't imagine why they would take over a flower shop if not for that scene.
I mean, it's like you would just be teasing us. Like
I know.
I would like be enraged if we don't get that
Can
scene.
I ask, because I didn't read the books, how closely do they follow them in the season 1 and 2?
So they follow them like pretty closely, but there's so much more added. So it's like in the book, it really is so focused on Belly. And I feel like in the show, we just get so much more from other characters. And they do change some things to like make it a little bit more modern and make sense for today. Because these books were written in like 2008. So I think that overall, the like main point of the story is still there, but there's just so much added. I think Belly is a much better character in the show than she is in the book. She's just more well-rounded.
Yeah.
She's a little more like of a like modern girl, I feel
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
I mean, honestly, like in the book, she's just a little more like sheepish, I feel like. And in the show, she's like, I feel like comes off as this like strong character, says what's on her mind more, like goes for it more.
Yeah, I think the big change that I knew about, I didn't read the first 2 books. I only watched the show, but I did read the third one. And the big one is that she has sex with Conrad in season 2. And in the books, she's a virgin when she agrees to marry Jeremiah.
Yeah.
So she's like dating Jeremiah for 2 years and they still haven't had sex yet, which makes the whole thing of him having sex with someone else even more like brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Which that's a change that I would advocate for because I'm like, yeah, this boy you've been in love with
She
your
is
whole...
a modern woman. She has sex.
She has
right?
sex. She's a modern teen girl.
Yeah.
When that came out though in the show that she had sex, I was like, oh my God. I feel like we were all like freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, where were sorry.
No, we were...
No,
No.
I'm glad that you
changes from the
asked.
book.
Wait, are you surprised though by what we're talking about with season 3?
Well, we've talked about it before,
Yeah.
so I knew that was like the storyline, but I almost am like, do you guys not like, are you going to be surprised by anything? Because you already know the story, and if they typically follow the story,
I was surprised by things though in season 2. I felt like, I mean, in the sense of like, well, one, for the second book, the dad was trying to like, the dad was more the villain in the book. Like there was no Aunt Julia. There was like none of that. It just still feels like so much more is added. And like Conrad, I think, is different in the show than in the books. Like in the books, he's like, honestly, like meaner, I think. And like I feel like you never really knew if he liked her until like the third book, really.
he's more complex.
Yeah. So I feel like in the show, they've like elevated these characters a lot more. So it still is like surprising and you get these added moments. I mean, I remember watching season 2 in the first episode when it's like after Belly and Conrad kiss and they're like walking on the beach and he's like, so just be with me. Like, and I was like, whoa. Like, this is different. I was
Okay.
like, this was not like this in the book. So, you know, Conrad's just a little bit more open with his feelings, I think. And he's still closed off in the show too, don't get me wrong, but there were real more moments where you felt like, oh, he is like really into her and is showing her that.
I'll just be interested, like what stuff surprises you guys after having read the book.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Taylor and Steven don't get together in the books.
No, yeah.
So that's
an added element, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, that's completely different. Like that is not like that in the book. So I think that will lead to a lot of surprises.
Yeah, we also get the two of them. There's a scene of Taylor and Steven, speaking of them, inside a bar restaurant scene. It looks like Taylor's in like a slinky, maybe bridesmaid's dress. I don't know.
Everyone is like trying to figure out like, is
Sorry,
this?
can you guys just start that thought again and
Oh, yeah.
transition better of like, okay, going back to like some of the
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
because we have
Yeah. You're fine.
No,
You're good. So yeah, speaking of Taylor and Steven, another leak that we saw was the two of them inside of a bar restaurant, filming inside, with Chris Briney walking around outside that same bar or restaurant, seemingly like looking for someone or something.
Or is he deciding if he wants to go inside or not?
Maybe it's a rehearsal dinner and he's wondering, should I interrupt? Like, we don't know, but it's exciting to speculate.
It's been exciting to find out, or not find out because we don't know, but to just speculate of like, oh, is this like the rehearsal dinner? Is this like an engagement party? Is it like, I feel like anytime anyone's in a little bit of formal wear, and by formal wear, I mean just like a dress, people are like, that's the engagement party. That's this.
Right.
And it's like, okay, we really don't know. But it is fun to speculate. I'm like, but Conrad's just wearing slacks all season. That's not his wedding outfit. Calm down.
But I will say this, in the books at least, he's at the house all summer, like doing like yard work. Like most of his summertime in Cousins in the book, he's like being handy around the house. So if he's in slacks, he's got to be going somewhere.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
We didn't get a Stanford sweatshirt, you know?
No.
Very exciting. Yeah, I feel like those were all like the main big things that people have been talking about. I feel like we saw a scene too where Belly's sticking her head out the window, which, you know, she does every season. So it's exciting to get that again. I love this show, how it does do those like parallels.
Yes.
Where it's like, no, it's like there's such a reward for watching like every episode and obsessing over like every scene. It's very Taylor Swift, and I feel like Jenny Han loves to do that for us, and I love that this show does that. So I love that we have like so many parallels between the season, and I'm glad that we're keeping that up for season 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna like yelp when we see that in season 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna be yelping a lot.
Yeah, we're gonna
wait.
be clutching our pearls, covering our mouths. It's gonna be exciting.
Yeah. I feel like we hit all the main leaks. I mean, there are some other just like random ones of like, you know, Sean, Rain, Lola, and Gavin spotted filming on a beach. So seems like the 4 of them are quite friendly still, which is good to see. And then just some random stuff of like, oh, they filmed at like a bar or a restaurant or just stuff like that. They filmed at UNC Chapel Hill, we saw. So that's really all we know. But I personally kind of felt like that gave me a lot of insight into season 3.
Yeah. Well, should we talk about what we thought was going to happen in season 3 and the ways that we were wrong?
Because
we were pretty wrong.
We're here to admit we were quite wrong.
We think.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know. But so in our episode where we recap the Summer I Turned Pretty season 2 finale, we made some predictions of what we thought was going to happen for season 3. We recorded this like a year ago after the finale dropped. So, you know, after we saw these leaks and all these photos from filming, we were like, we might have been wrong in our predictions because we really thought that they were going to stray away from the book a lot.
Yeah, I think that the thought of the marriage plot line and the Jeremiah cheating, both of those things seemed so preposterous that we were like, there's no way they're going to keep those in. Like, it works in a book a little bit, but like on TV, we were like, no, there's no way. And it seems that we were wrong, and they're keeping both of those in.
I know. It does appear that way, definitely. And I do feel like, as we said before, they don't stray too much from like the main storylines. So I feel like it's hard to stray. And I think after rereading it again, I don't think it's as preposterous, I think. I think that like when I first read it, I was like, ugh, we're doing this teen marriage thing. Like, I mean, at least they're in college. But I was just so kind of bothered by that because I'm just so over like that storyline.
Yeah.
But I think after reading it again, you know, the drama of it is pretty good.
Yeah.
And I also think it makes somewhat sense of like what they have all been through and losing Susanna. Like, it doesn't surprise me for Jeremiah's character to propose to Belly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that feels so crazy.
I agree. And I think something that I noticed a lot in reading the book is that everyone else thinks it's ridiculous. Like, everyone else is the reader. Like Laurel and Conrad and their dad, like, they're all like, you're too young. This is an insane thing to do.
Yeah.
And it's really just like Belly and Jeremiah and Taylor a little bit who are like excited about it. But even Taylor's like, she's doing it to be supportive.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, she's like, you don't have to do this just because you said yes. You know?
Exactly.
So that does make it a little bit more believable, the fact that like everyone around them is like, what are you doing? You're in college.
I mean, Laurel's pissed.
Laurel is like, I'm cutting you out of, like, I won't come to your wedding at first.
I
Laurel's
know.
pissed. And
I
like,
know.
harsh but fair.
Yeah. So yeah, we were really thinking, we were like, no way they're gonna do this wedding thing. But I mean, now it definitely feels like they are. So I definitely feel like we were wrong with that. And then I really was against the Jeremiah cheating storyline. And I'm not like the biggest supporter of Jeremiah. I'm obviously team Belly and Conrad. But I think it just felt to me like I don't think Jeremiah's character would necessarily go like that far with it.
Yeah, I think that's true, but also like what we've seen of him in 2 seasons of the show is that he's a big flirt. Like he, you know, and is like almost like a puppy dog. And I think that he is a character that's very emotional and in that way is reactive.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, maybe he's just like he's supposed to be drunk when he does it, which is not an excuse, but like he's just like hurting so badly, and
that's true.
And and it has this girl who apparently is like throwing herself at him, according to their version.
And it feels like Jeremiah, out of like all these characters, has not dealt with his feelings about his mom dying like at all.
Yeah, like he didn't really process.
No.
Yeah, even though like we're like Conrad isn't dealing with it well, it seems like he's accepting it and working through it, and Jeremiah is just like, everything's great. Like, let's be.
We're at 25 minutes.
Okay,
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeremiah is sort of seems like after Susanna dies is just like, everything's great. Like, I'm with Belly. Like, things are going to be good.
Right. Like, he jumps to Belly because he thinks Belly will like fix everything for him.
Yeah.
I just think that I don't necessarily think we need the Jeremiah cheating storyline is how I feel about it. I get that leads to the proposal, which I think does make sense. But I just think like, Belly's going to choose Conrad anyways. Like, do we need this? Like, do we need to turn Jeremiah into a cheater? There's a part of me that just like, Jeremiah's not a bad guy. Like, he's not.
No, he's not. He's just mostly, it's like he's young and like kind of dumb and hasn't figured it out yet. But he has good intentions.
Yeah, I think that there's just part of me that maybe is a little protective of Jeremiah. Of like, he's not a bad guy. And I feel like especially on the show, they like have not made him like into this like character. It feels like that could really like do that. But we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't think I don't know if we really needed it, but I also love the drama. So I do think that they're going to include it because it is a big part of the storyline. But we'll see.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, another thing I think I was wrong about.
You're such a Jeremiah apologist today. I'm shocked.
I know. I think, though, I'm just like, he loses in the end. Can we have him keep his dignity? Like,
fair
please.
enough. Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I was saying, like, when we did reviews of the other seasons, like, it felt like he didn't do anything bad to Belly. Like,
exactly. That's what I mean.
So it's like, to hear that he does that feels so out of character.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't really get it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It just feels like he wouldn't like hurt her really in that way. And it's like, I think we can get Belly to Conrad still without that storyline. And I think then it makes it feel like a little bit more of a real choice.
Yeah, as opposed to like,
he hurt me and I'm just going to go to Conrad, which it's not like that either in the book, but it just still feels like that is like, it's something that leads her more to him.
Yeah, it's a stronger choice if he never cheats and never gives her a reason to choose Conrad like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we basically predicted that we thought none of that would happen in season 3. And based on the footage we've seen so far, it looks like that could all be happening.
Yes. Should we talk about what else we think will happen in season 3 based off of these leaks that we've seen?
Well, I definitely think we're going to get Conrad's POV, like some Conrad narration, similar in season 2 when we got that like Jeremiah episode. I think we're gonna get Conrad's episode because his POV is in a lot of the book.
Yes, it's mostly Belly narrating the books, but we do get some chapters from Conrad's POV.
Yeah.
Which is it's fun. It's fun to get that different voice in your head and to see finally what's going on in his brain.
It is so nice to finally get something from this guy. Which again, I do think the show already does better anyways, because like the scene with Belly and Conrad that we got on the beach, which I think is like the best scene we have ever seen of this show. The one that I thought you knew scene.
Yeah.
That is not in the book. There is not that of them like talking about their feelings like that.
Well, I'm glad that we have it on film because it's like, it's an important scene and it is one that people reference. People like, that's the scene that you take away from season 2.
Exactly. So that's why it's like, I'm still excited for what we get in the show because they just do such a good job of it. But I think we're going to get also Conrad's POV on maybe some other things that have happened in the show, because there is a photo of him in his cousin's rowing shirt that appears where he's like lingering by a door, and we never got this scene in season 2.
Okay, all right.
And I'm like, are they going to bring that back around? It's like, it seems to be like he's lingering by the door when Belly and Jeremiah are talking about how she kissed Conrad.
Like that, you saw that photo before, like
This
way long
photo,
ago?
this photo came out like maybe it was in like a preview for season 2 or
Okay,
something
so it was
like that.
Pre-season 2, and then we
It was
never
like
got
a
that scene.
preview for season 2.
Yes.
So it's like,
And then we
maybe
were
a
like, we
scene in
never
their-
got this.
their
I
back
know the
pocket.
photo that you're talking about, but it's we never actually like see that scene, I think.
Yeah. So
Maybe it was cut and they'll do it in flashback. Who knows?
I'm wondering. But either way, I'm just excited to like get more of what is in his head, because it's a lot.
Yeah.
What is hiding under that middle part?
I know. There's a lot hiding under there.
Well, I think, like you said, like we're hopefully going to get a lot more of the other characters. So the Stephen Taylor romance, as we said, is not in the books, but obviously it's in the show. And so hopefully we're going to get more of that in season 3. Like I would love for them to still be together and figure out where they end up. I don't know if they will, but like either way, like I'm excited to see more of that relationship and how it shakes out.
I'm so curious if they're still going to be together. I personally think they're not going to start out season 3 together.
I would agree.
Because they're at separate colleges, and we flash forward. So we're like 2 years into the future. So I think that it just doesn't fully make sense for them to be together. But I think that the like Belly Jeremiah drama will bring the two of them together again.
I can fully see that happening. That
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense to me.
And then maybe we'll get some flashbacks to them like being happy together, because they have cute scenes. I want to see some more cute scenes between them. We deserve it.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a lot of, if they do keep the time jump, the 2-year time jump,
Yeah.
then I would think that we would get flashbacks for the previous 2 years with all the characters, like we did in season 2, and we got the flashbacks of Belly and Conrad together.
We love those flashbacks.
The
show does flashbacks quite well, I think.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get, some flashbacks to see, just these smaller moments, especially if they keep to the book, the Christmas at the cousin's house when Belly and Conrad are both at the house alone together.
We're definitely going to get that.
We have to.
I mean, that's like a pivotal moment, because she also lies to Jeremiah
Yes,
about it.
and that
So-
leads to him calling off the wedding.
Right.
So
I think we'll definitely be getting that. I think like they're going to keep in these like pivotal scenes from the book. I mean, they have to. I will be outraged if they don't.
Right. If they're keeping with all the other things, they have to keep these big moments.
I think though we're going to get more of Jeremiah in season 3 than we got in the books. Like he is pretty absent in the books in
He's
season 3.
Barely there.
So I think we'll definitely like, I don't think he's going to be gone at this like internship all summer. I think we're going to get more with him. I wonder if we're going to like add some friends in for him or something like that. Like a frat brother, like a close friend or something. Because I feel like he'll need a little bit of an ally.
Yeah. Because like Conrad's not an ally for him,
Right.
and Steven, I mean, isn't around in the books. Maybe he'll be around more in the show, but
Yeah.
I think everybody needs some new friends.
I also think because we're getting 11 episodes, the book ends up, it's Belly and Conrad together. So I think we're going to see more of like how they actually get together. Because in the books, it's kind of like, it's just in the epilogue where they end up together. He starts writing her letters when she's abroad, and then like a couple years later they're like married already, which is like, oh my god, can everybody just calm down?
That annoyed me a little bit about the book.
Again, I think because this was written in 2008, it's just like it was a different time.
Right, but
People were getting married at 24.
Yeah. The book ends with like literally like the wedding ends. Like Jeremiah calls off the wedding. Conrad also says goodbye to Belly and is like, this was all worth it, like goodbye, and walks out.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to like spare, pain for everybody. And then like you said, we get the epilogue and it's like their wedding day. But we don't really, we hear about the letters, but we don't actually like see details of how they got together. It's just like a jump forward in time and now they're married.
Yeah, I definitely think that they're going to do that differently for the show. I think we're going to more like see how they get together, and maybe we'll still jump ahead in time.
Yeah.
But I think we'll see more how they like actually come together.
I also would appreciate it if they do jump ahead and it's their wedding, like fine, but even longer, because in the book it's like she's marrying Jeremiah when she's 18, almost 19.
Yeah.
And then she's 23, almost 24 when she marries Conrad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, couldn't you, but if it's 2 years before she gets back together with Conrad, then that's like a 2-year relationship with Conrad. I'm like, couldn't you just like date for like a long time, live together, and then get married when she's like 26, 27?
Yeah,
like
I
even
feel
that
like
would
they're
feel better to me.
I don't think they'll focus too much on like what age she is. I think
Yeah.
we'll know it's like forward in time.
Hopefully.
And
Let Conrad finish med school. You know, like that man's got plans. Let him deal with that, and then you can get married.
well, I also am curious, like, do they do long distance? Like, I just need more information on like what leads to them like actually getting together. And I think that in the show we're gonna get much more of a resolution between Conrad and Jeremiah. Like, I think we're gonna get a lot more like scenes of them working through their stuff together.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack there. And I just think, at least I hope, that in the show, by the end of season 3, they'll at least be in like a good place.
Yeah.
And not just an okay place. Like, I want them to be in a good place.
I agree, because the book is like
It's not great.
It's not great, and then they jump ahead, and it's like, oh, Jeremiah's at the wedding with his date.
I know.
But like that's it. Like he needs to resolve things, and they really need to talk about it and unpack it. And
Yeah.
Like you said, be in a good place, because they are brothers. At one point in season 2, when they're on the beach talking, they're like, we only have each other.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. And so I think that they need to really get back to that sort of mentality of like, we need to be there for each other because our mom is gone. Like, this is not, worth it.
I know. I think like overall in season 3 too, I do just hope that everybody kind of like works through their stuff, and we get a little bit more of a resolution of them like being okay after Susanna is gone.
Yeah.
Because like in season 2, everyone is a mess the entire time. And I'm not saying I don't want to open season 3 with like everyone okay, and like that's also just unrealistic and not how the book is. But I just kind of, I don't know, maybe I want to end it with them like all together at the 4th of July party or something. But I want them, like that group, all the kids, to like come together for Susanna and like all seem to be okay.
Yeah. And related to that,
At the end.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Because that's how life goes. Usually,
Yeah.
right?
Well, it's like if we're ending the show there, which I think we are.
Yeah.
I did look up if there's anything confirmed that says it's the last season, and there isn't.
Yeah.
No
I
one
think
has
it's going to
said-
be over.
Yeah.
it just feels like it's ending.
Maybe they're
but
going to do like a spin-off or
I think,
something.
yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like because they're going so much off the books, like I just don't really know like what they would really do. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
And because this show only comes out at summer every other year.
It's like, how long do you want to keep them filming? Yeah.
I just don't think they would
I
like.
mean, as long as people are still recording podcast episodes.
I mean,
know.
as
I
long
mean,
as they
look.
put out episodes, we will be talking about them.
not like you're not going to watch it.
No, I would hope that they would do more, but I just feel like it would feel like the story is over, I think. And I think that we're getting 11 episodes this season for a reason.
Yeah. To wrap it up.
Yeah. I feel like they already would have picked up a season 4 if that's what they were doing too.
Yeah, if they were going to continue and not end it where we think they're going to end it.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they might not even like end it there. It could just be like where she leaves, where her and Jeremiah don't get married, and then like that's it. And then in season 4, we explore more of like
Her and
Belly getting together with Conrad.
I wouldn't hate that, but I just don't think that's what they're doing.
Yeah,
But I
I
also
think
like,
so.
I
Yeah,
would.
maybe the epilogue is an entire season.
Whoa.
I mean, I would watch that.
I mean, it covers many years, so there's plenty
I know.
to deal with in that.
I wouldn't hate it. All right, you convinced me.
Yeah.
Now that we just talked about it. I'm on board for that. But then it would literally be like, okay, season 1 is Conrad. Season 2 is Jeremiah. Season 3, like it's just like the flip-flop of seasons would be like too much.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh God. All right, where are we talking?
I
about?
think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting. Like, I just feel like this is such a highly anticipated season. We don't fully know what's going to happen. I just am so excited. I'm so excited to see what they're going to add to this story. I mean, waiting a whole nother year is like going to feel like a lifetime.
You know what is good about waiting another year, though, is that Taylor Swift has put out so much new music. And who knows what new songs will be out in the next year by the time this actually airs. So, like,
Oh my
what
God.
Taylor Swift needle drops are we going to get in season 3?
Oh my God.
So
Wait.
many to choose from.
I cannot wait. That's so true.
I mean, 30 songs on Tortured Poets alone.
I mean, God, what are we going to get? But Daddy, I Love Him when she's
Like trying to
Jeremiah.
Honestly, it's a little perfect
I
when she's
know,
like,
right?
I'm going to marry him. Yeah, when she's fighting with Laurel and her about the wedding.
Smallest man who ever lived after Jeremiah cheats.
Yes. Not wrong.
Oh my God, there is so many songs.
Yeah, we're going to get some good stuff.
Oh my God. And Olivia Rodrigo came out with another album that wasn't on the season.
True. I mean, all the pop girls of 2024.
I know.
Maybe we'll get some Chapel, some Sabrina.
I would love that.
That'd
Give me,
be-
yeah, that would be some good stuff. Like,
No,
give me some.
Charlie XCX.
I don't know if that's the vibe.
I know.
It's Taylor's vibe.
I'm kidding.
Taylor would play some Charlie.
I don't think
think
we're going to be playing a 365 Party Girl on.
No.
No.
Maybe at the
Turn
frat
Pretty.
party.
Yeah, maybe at the frat party. Yeah.
I feel like hopefully Taylor will come out with Reputation, Taylor's version, and we'll get more of that. We already got Delicate.
We did, and we got that one song, not on the show, but there was another song that she released for like an Amazon trailer, so we know it exists.
Maybe Taylor will also come out with debut Taylor's version by then, and we get some of that like our
song?
for like a flashback of like Belly and like younger high school or something.
I mean, the ages are correct,
Right?
If they're 2 years apart. Oh.
I know, like I feel like that works. Oh my God, I
Mary's
can't wait.
song, yeah, that too.
Oh my God, the music is gonna be so good. I can't wait. That's
Yeah.
like part of the fun of it too.
It is. It's like when, because it's always unexpected. Like I'm always surprised by the Taylor needle drops in the show.
It's gonna be great. I can't wait. This show just like gives you everything you want in a teen show, I think.
Yeah.
It's just fun to watch and to speculate. It really hits you where it hurts sometimes. I feel like there's gonna be some tearful moments in season 3.
Oh yeah, we're gonna cry. It's gonna be great.
I can't wait. We'll have to whenever it comes back, sometime summer 2025, we will be recapping every episode.
Yeah.
So don't you worry.
Because it was released week to week previously, so that means we can talk about each episode in detail.
Yeah, and we will be talking about
We
it
will.
in detail. This is a detail-oriented show, so
Yes.
I'm ready to bring out my notebook.
We don't have a release date.
No release
Okay.
date yet.
Just
but
summer 2025.
I think that with 11 episodes, like I would imagine that it would come out a little like
maybe in June.
I'm thinking June. I mean, and then have it be like all summer.
It makes sense. I know that season 2 started in like mid-July and ended at the end of August.
Yeah.
I think season 1 did something similar. Maybe it came out in August or something. But like you said, with more episodes, I would think they should start it earlier in the summer and have it end right around the same time, late August.
Yeah, so fingers crossed. We will keep you guys updated with all of the updates that we get from the Summer I Turned Pretty. I mean, this will not be the last we're talking about season 3. We got a whole nother year. So any trailer that comes out, any other additional info, we will be talking about it.
In the meantime, you can go back and listen to all of our previous Summer I Turned Pretty episodes. There's season 1, there's season 2, there's the season 2 finale. You can find those wherever you get your podcasts. While you're there, please remember to follow us, subscribe, rate and review us, give us 5 stars. You can also find us on social media on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube at previously on _teen TV.
Thanks for listening.